How are you doing, guys? We are back with another one. Today, we'll be talking about happiness. Happiness is a difficult goal to attain, especially when you don't know what it looks like. We are all on a time-restricted race to find it, and that's why we can't afford the trial and error way of doing things. Knowing oneself is the map and guide to happiness. Studying oneself is the meditation we so desperately need to know what will truly make us happy.
The two biggest problems that we face are that one, life is short, and that happiness only works if it's custom made. The specifics that make me happy will likely be different from the specifics that make you happy, and the details are really hard to pin down. Like some of us figure it out early in life, while others may take a lifetime to figure out what their version of bliss may be. So for this point, the idea is to be more intentional about how you go about chasing happiness. If your way of going about it is by randomly testing things that may make you happy or may not, you might, by luck or by chance, get it right, or you might not. The best way to go about chasing happiness or pursuing happiness is by learning more about yourself. And when you learn more about yourself, you can have a more informed decision on what to try or what to ignore.
2. Happiness takes different shapes and forms. What one man's bliss can just as easily be another man's misery. No one can tell you what will make you happy. Only you can. So following someone else's steps to happiness will lead you to their version of it, which may or may not be yours.
We live in a time of gurus. People make money telling you what to do or what to think. So you follow it because they look like they have life figured out. They look happy, right? They have a great marriage. They have great kids. And you want that for yourself. The problem is that, again, happiness is personal. You may follow them to the teeth, do exactly what they did, and not be nearly as happy as they are. And the reason why that happens is because they're not you and you're not them. You're different people at the end of the day. What makes them happy, again, may be completely different from what makes you happy.
3. As you gradually discover what makes you happy, you also discover what makes you you. This is another reason why following someone else's recipe for happiness is a mistake. If you shape your life on someone else's ideal, you stop being you. You stop living your life. The worst of it is that most of us, even those who look blissfully happy, are not living their lives either. So you might be in for a better surprise one day when your North Star wakes up from their lie and realize they are not as happy as they portray themselves as. And you, in turn, wake up to the fact that you're not just a copy, but a copy of a copy, which in turn may or may not be the original. You realize that you are a part of a bigger chain of unhappiness, where everyone's failed attempt at happiness is not about looking inside and reflecting, but by looking and mimicking what they see outside.
When we copy someone else's approach to happiness, we usually make two assumptions. The first is that doing it will make us happy, and the second is that these people, they are the creators, meaning that they were the ones that figured it out, right? They were the ones who came up with this particular strategy for happiness. And the thing is that, with this age of internet, it's much easier to copy from other people than to be original. And not everything we copy is automatically good. Now we have standards for literally everything, even the definition of what happiness is, even if this definition doesn't make us happy. The point is that we may end in a world in which the only way to look for happiness is just to copy from other people. And in a world in which people are not happy in practice and they're more happy in theory.
4. Just like we should develop ourselves to handle possible future riches, so should we prepare ourselves for happiness. We live in a time in which we are told who to be and what to believe in on a global scale. What happiness looks like is different for different people.
We're used to the countless stories of people who got rich overnight and didn't know how to handle it. Like someone makes a hit, they make $1 million and they lose respect for their peers. They don't treat people well, right? And we internalize the lessons of who we want to be and if we get rich, right? What we're not taught is that what makes us happy may not be accepted, really. This is especially true in this time where everybody claims to be accepting, when really we're only open to the things that we're open to, and the things that we're close to. And as we discussed, finding happiness is difficult, but at the same time, it's probably the most important thing any living being can do. Just like we do it with our loved ones, right? Like we do everything to defend them, to protect them, as long as we don't have to hurt any other human being on the process. The only difference here is that by protecting your happiness, you nurture your love for yourself.
Lastly, happiness is not a permanent state. The feeling of happiness comes and goes. The goal shouldn't be to truly be happily ever after. That only happens in movies. True happiness is not eternal bliss devoid of all sadness, but having that bliss be the background theme throughout your life, even as you go through thunders and storms. Hollywood movies always end on a high note, and we falsely conclude that the forever bliss is possible. If we managed the peek behind the curtains and see what happens the first second after the credits roll, I guarantee you that the cycle of bliss and misery starts all over again. How do I know that? Look at all the sequels that ever existed.
We make the mistake of watching Hollywood movies and thinking they're real. Like we may say that we know they're not real, but the thing is that we act as if they were. When you don't understand why, like, you can't always be happy, and like you get sad about your inability to be happy. That's an example of it. You still have that Hollywood movie you say you don't believe in the background, playing like a tape over and over again. The truth is that life will always have some bad, and there's nothing we can do about it. Trying to be in bliss 24/7 is a total waste of time. If you solve your problem by always ordering your favorite food, soon you get tired of it, which is by itself a form of misery. If your solution is to watch Netflix all day, every day, soon you get sick of it and you need something else. There's never an end to it. Being always in contentment is impossible. What's much, much easier is to have a happy life in general. Like when you look back to the years, you can hardly remember your down moments because there were so few.
So as Studinsky say, the key to being happy is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.